There was a time when Hollywood gave us heroes, true legends who defined an era of cinema.
Oh, stop cackling. Get one a little farther out there.
There you go again!
Rio Bravo wasn't just a film, it was a masterpiece of the Western genre, a story of loyalty, courage, and justice. Today, we look back and honor the unforgettable stars of Rio Bravo who have died. He was the golden boy of rock and roll, a teen idol who made the leap to Hollywood. In Rio Bravo, 1959, Ricky Nelson played Colorado Ryan, the young gunslinger who stood alongside John Wayne and Dean Martin. But his biggest stage was always music.
Sings a sweet melody.
Born in 1940, Nelson was already famous before Rio Bravo, thanks to the adventures of Ozzie and Harriet. His smooth voice and boyish charm made him a rock sensation, with hits like Hello Mary Lou and Travelin' Man.
So hello, Mary Lou, goodbye heart.
He had it all, fame, fortune, and legions of fans. But his story took a tragic turn. On December 31st, 1985, Nelson's private plane crash-landed in Texas while en route to a New Year's Eve concert. He was just 45 years old. Ricky Nelson may have left too soon, but his music and legacy live on. He was the tough, no-nonsense cowboy, the dependable sidekick, the man who seemed born for a saddle.
I ain't seen you since the surrender. Come to think of it, I didn't see you at the surrender.
Ward Bond wasn't just a character actor, he was a cornerstone of the Western genre. Born in 1903, Bond played in over 200 films, often alongside John Wayne. His rugged presence made him unforgettable in classics like The Searchers, 1956, and, of course, Rio Bravo, 1959, where he played the firm but fair Pat Wheeler.
Who the devil do you think you're ordering around here? First Burdett's men stopped me, and now you stand there and try to...
Off-screen, he was just as bold, outspoken, larger than life, and fiercely loyal to his friends. But his story ended too soon. On November 5th, 1960, at just 57, Bond suffered a fatal heart attack. His sudden passing shocked Hollywood, and John Wayne served as a pallbearer at his funeral. Ward Bond may have left the trail early, but his legacy rides on in every cowboy who walks tall and stands firm.
But not near as polite. Now you ride off this land and you take your private army with you.
With his deep, gravelly voice and imposing presence, Claude Akins was born to play the tough guys of the Wild West. In Rio Bravo, 1959, he portrayed Joe Burdett, the outlaw whose arrest sets the whole story in motion.
Now what are you going to do, Sheriff?
Born in 1926, Akins built a career as one of Hollywood's most reliable villains and character actors. From westerns to war films, he played cowboys, criminals, and lawmen with equal conviction. But off-screen, he was known as a warm and friendly man, far from the menacing roles he often took on. Akins worked steadily in TV and film for decades, but in 1994, his journey came to an end. He passed away from cancer on January 27th at the age of 67. Claude Akins was more than just a villain. He was a true Hollywood workhorse, leaving behind a legacy of unforgettable performances.
And somebody ought to belt you in the mouth. But I won't. I won't. The hell I will.
He wasn't just an actor, he was an American icon. John Wayne, the towering cowboy of the silver screen, embodied grit, honor, and the spirit of the Wild West. But behind the legend was a man who battled his own demons. Born Marion Robert Morrison in 1907, Wayne's rise to stardom wasn't instant. He started as a prop boy before breaking through in Stagecoach, 1939. From there, he became Hollywood's ultimate cowboy, starring in over 170 films, including Rio Bravo, 1959, where he played the heroic Sheriff John T. Chance.
It'd be pretty close. I'd hate to have to live on the difference.
Wayne's tough guy persona wasn't just for show. He was diagnosed with lung cancer in 1964, but refused to back down. He fought hard and survived, only to face stomach cancer years later. On June 11, 1979, at the age of 72, the Duke took his final ride. Even in death, his legacy endures. Forever the cowboy, forever the legend.
His mother is man enough for me.
He was the king of cool, the effortless crooner, the smooth talker, the man who made it all look easy. Dean Martin was a music legend, a comedy icon, and in Rio Bravo, 1959, he showed a different side as Dude, the troubled deputy battling his demons.
I got Joe. Can't walk, but I can drag him.
Born in 1917, Martin first found fame as part of the comedy duo Martin and Lewis before becoming a solo superstar. With hits like That's Amore and Everybody Loves Somebody, he ruled the airwaves.
For I know somewhere there's a someone for me.
But acting was no side gig. His charisma shined in films like Ocean's 11 and Rio Bravo, where he held his own alongside John Wayne. Later in life, Martin withdrew from the spotlight. On Christmas Day, 1995, he passed away in his Beverly Hills home from lung cancer at 78. Dean Martin left behind a legacy of music, laughter, and timeless cool.
What'll you do if I wasn't here to throw 'em for you?
You might not know his name, but you know his voice.
No, come on, I got a front seat. It's a good one.
The raspy drawl, the mischievous grin, the old-timer wisdom. Walter Brennan wasn't just a character actor. He was the backbone of classic Hollywood westerns. Born in 1894, Brennan's acting career took off in the 1930s. He became the first actor to win 3 Academy Awards for Come and Get It, 1936, Kentucky, 1938, and The Westerner, 1940.
Awards for supporting roles are begun with Walter Brennan in 1936. Over the years, he will win 3 Oscars.
But for many, he's best remembered as Stumpy in Rio Bravo, 1959, the cranky but loyal deputy who stole every scene. Off-screen, Brennan was a private man, living far from Hollywood's glitz. By the early 1970s, his health declined due to emphysema. On September 21, 1974, at 80 years old, he took his final bow. A legend in his own right, Brennan proved that sometimes the sidekick is just as unforgettable as the hero. Rest easy, Stumpy.
How long you been married?
9 years.
He was the fast-talking, scene-stealing comic relief of Rio Bravo, 1959. As Carlos, the excitable hotel owner, Pedro Gonzalez-Gonzalez brought charm and energy to the screen. But his real story was even more inspiring. Born in 1925 to a Mexican-American family in Texas, Pedro's big break came on You Bet Your Life with Groucho Marx. His quick wit and larger-than-life personality landed him roles in Hollywood, where he became a beloved character actor, often playing comedic sidekicks in westerns. Despite facing stereotypes, Pedro carved out a decades-long career, proving that humor and talent could break barriers.
Wait till I'll show you what is in this package. Then you tell me if I do not know about women.
He continued acting well into his later years, but time eventually caught up with him. On February 6, 2006, he passed away at 80 from natural causes. Pedro Gonzalez-Gonzalez may have played the comic relief, but his legacy is no joke. Though the years have passed, the spirit of Rio Bravo remains, carried on by those who remember its magic. The actors who once rode across the dusty frontier are gone, but their stories still live in the hearts of fans who cherish the film. Each sudden passing was a reminder of how fleeting life can be, but legends never truly fade. They remain immortal on the silver screen, in every line spoken, every glance exchanged, every gunfight waged in the name of justice. Who was your favorite Rio Bravo star? Share your memories in the comments, and if you believe these legends deserve to be remembered forever, don't forget to like and subscribe. The West may be gone, but its heroes live on.